So, sa video na ito, explain ko kung ano bang ibig sabihin ng stocks at stock market. So, for our learning objectives, to define and explain stocks in simplest way and to solve the problems involving stocks. So, magsimula tayo sa stock market. Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng stock market? When we say stock market, it is a place where share of stock of publicly listed companies are bought and sold. So, sa madaling salita, ang stock market ay isang sosyal na palengke. So, tulad ng isang palengke, may mga nagtitinda rin dito. Sa halip na karne, bigas, manok at gulay ang tinitinda din nila. Ang mabibili mo dito ay tinatawag na stocks. So, ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng stocks? Ang stocks ay isang bahagi ng pagmamay-ari o ownership sa isang kumpanya. Isa lang ang ibig sabihin ng stocks, shares, or shares of stocks. Kapag ikaw ay bumili ng stocks sa isang kumpanya, ikaw ay magiging isa sa mga may-ari nito. Ang tawag sa iyo ay isang stockholder or shareholder. Kapag may nabasa o narinig sa balita na si company ABC goes public, for example, company ABS-CBN goes public, ang ibig sabihin nito ay nagbebenta na sila ng shares sa public. But why do companies go public? Bakit ba nila ito ginagawa? Well, para magkaroon sila ng dagdag na puhunan para matugunan ang kanilang paglaki or expansion. Ang isang kumpanya na lumalaki ay lumalaki rin ang gastos. Pwede silang mangutang sa bangko o kaya mag-issue ng bonds. Yun nga lang, madadagdagan ang kanilang gastusin dahil sa interest kapag uutang sila. So, para maiwasan nilang magkautang, maghahanap sila ngayon ng mga investors sa pamamagitan ng pagbebenta ng stocks. So, ang tawag naman sa mga tendero at tendera ng stocks ay brokers o stock brokers. Sila lang ang binigyan ng authority ng Philippine Stock Exchange para bumili at magbenta ng shares of stock sa mga investors. Or sa madaling salita, sa kanila lang tayo pwedeng bumili ng stocks. So, paano kumita sa stock market? Bilang isang long-term investors, may dalawang paraan para ikaw ay kumita sa stock market. Ito ay ang mga sumusunod. Number 1, dividends. Number 2, capital gains. So, unahin natin si dividends. Pag sinabing dividends, kagaya ng nabanggit ko kanina, ang dividend ay kita ng isang kumpanya na ipinamamahagi sa mga stockholder. So, sa madaling salita, kapag sinabing dividends, ito yung mga sobrang kita ng mga kumpanya na pwede nilang ibigay sa mga investors nila. Dahil sa dividend, ang iyong investment sa stock market ay maituturing na isang passive income. Your money grows without doing anything. So, ibig sabihin, naka-invest lang yung pera mo, nakatago lang yun, pero wala kang ginagawa, pero pwedeng mabigyan ka ng dividends dahil meron kang investment sa kanilang kumpanya. Or kapag malaki ang kanilang kita, bibigyan kanila ng dividends. Another one, the capital gains. Kapag ang isang kumpanya ay lumalaki, ang presyo ng bawat value ng shares nito ay tumataas din. So, halimbawa, noong January 2019, bumili si Juan ng 50 stocks sa Jollibee Corporation. Noong time na yon, ang presyo ng bawat shares ay nasa 20 pesos. So, ang total investment ni Juan ay 50 stocks times 20 pesos is equals to 1,000 pesos. Dahil patuloy sa paglaki ang Jollibee Corporation, ang presyo ng bawat shares nila ay umabot na sa 140 pesos as of December 2019. Kung ibebenta ni Juan ang lahat ng shares niya sa Jollibee Corporation, ang makukuha niya ngayon ay 50 stocks times 140 is equals to 7,000 pesos. So, ibig sabihin, ang kanyang investment noon ay 1,000 pesos only. Ngayong December 2019, ang kanyang investment na ay nasa 7,000. So, kumita siya ng 6,000 pesos in just 1 year. So, how much more kapag mas mataas ang investment niya, di ba? For example, kapag ito 1 million ang kanyang shares at umabot sa December 2019 naging 7 million, ibig sabihin sa buong taon meron siyang kita na 6 million pesos. Ganon kumita sa stock market. So, let's proceed sa definition of terms. Dividend per share is a ratio of dividends to the number of shares. Market value is a current price of stock at which it can be sold. Par value, the per share amount stated on the company's certificate. Stock yield ratio is a ratio of annual dividend per share and the market value per share. It is also called current stock yield. So, proceed tayo sa formula. So, the formula of dividend is par value times dividend percentage times number of shares. So, sa dividend per shares, total dividends divided by total shares. So, for stock yield ratio, dividend per ratio divided by market value. So, umpisahan natin sa example from dividends. A certain corporation declared a 6% dividend on stock with a par value of 2,500. So, Miss Marikit owns 8 shares of stock with a par value of 2,500. So, how much is the dividend she will receive or she received? So, look for dividend. So, for our given, the par value is 2,500. So, the dividend percentage is 6% and the number of shares is 8. So, for our solution, we use the mathematical equation of dividend, which is dividend is equals to par value times dividend percentage times number of shares. So, substitute the value 2,500 times 0.06 or 6% times 8 is equals to 1,200. So, therefore, the dividend she will receive soon is 1,200 pesos. So, another example of dividend problems. Mr. Gonzalez owns 100 shares of stock with a par value of 4,600. ABC Corporation declared an 8% dividend on its stocks. How much is the dividend she will receive? So, we're looking for dividends. So, for our given, the par value is 4,600. The dividend percentage is 8% and the number of shares is 100. So, for our solution, we use again the formula of dividend. So, par value times dividend percentage times number of shares is equals to, or substitute the value is 4,600 times 0.08 times 100 is equals to 36,800 pesos. So, therefore, the dividends he will receive is 36,800 pesos. So, let's proceed for the example of dividend per share. So, one have shares of 15,000 and he will receive dividends of 10,000 pesos. How much is the dividend per share? So in this problem, we're looking for dividend per share. So for our given, we use the total dividend, which is 10,000. The total shares is equals to 15,000. So for our solution, we use the mathematical equation of dividend per share, which is dividend per share is equals to total dividend divided by total shares. So substitute the value. So 10,000 of total dividends divided by 15,000 of total shares is equals to 0.667 or 66.67%. So therefore, the dividend per share of 1 is 66.67%. So another example of dividend per share. A certain financial institution declared 300,000 dividend for the common stocks. If there are a total of number of 700 shares of common stocks, how much is the dividend per share? Again, we're looking for dividend per share. So for our given, total dividend is equals to 300,000 and the total shares is 700,000. So for our solution, we use again the mathematical equation of dividend per share is equals to total dividend divided by total shares. So substitute the value. So 300,000 divided by 700,000 is equals to 0.4286 or 42.86%. So therefore, the dividend per share is 42.86%. So let's proceed for the example of stock yield ratio. A certain company gave out 45 dividend per share for its common stock. The market value of stocks is 120 pesos. So determine the stock yield ratio. So in this problem, we're looking for stock yield ratio. So for our given, dividend per ratio is equals to 45 and the market value is 120. So for our solution, we use the mathematical equation or formula of stock yield ratio is equals to dividend per ratio divided by market value. So substitute the value. So 45 of dividend per ratio divided by market value of 120 is equals to 0.37 or 37.50%. So therefore, the stock yield ratio is 37.50%. So another example of stock yield ratio. The market value of the stock is 65 pesos. So ABC company declared 15 dividend per share. So determine the stock yield ratio. So again, in this problem, we're looking for stock yield ratio. So for our given, dividend per ratio is 15 pesos and the market value is 65 pesos. So for our solution, we use again the mathematical equation or formula of stock yield ratio is equals to dividend per ratio over or divided by market value. So substitute. So 15 divided by 65 is equals to 0.23076 or 23.08%. So therefore, the total stock yield ratio is 23.8%. So ganun lang isolve ang problems of the stocks. So I hope you understand the lessons kung paano isolve ang mga stocks at kung anong ibig sabihin ng stock at kung anong ibig sabihin ng stock market. So thank you for watching.